Smite Egg Shrek, absolutely, dude, absolutely. Shrek Hercules, I would buy that skin in a heartbeat, no question.
Today, we become legends.
SMITE crossovers have so much potential, I feel like, that isn't really necessarily being achieved, and this post popped up on Reddit recently of someone discussing what kind of crossover events they would like to see in SMITE, and there's been like over 600 comments on it, so I'm going to review some of these ideas, provide some of my own, and just kind of explore the possibilities that we could have with SMITE crossover events, because I think they can be really huge for the game, and to be honest have been huge for the game, but could be even more so. Obviously, so far we've had Stranger Things, Slipknot, Ruby, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Nickelodeon, Avatar. I think are the ones we've had. There may be more that I'm missing, but I'm not entirely sure. And for me, personally, like, most of them haven't hit the spot. Like, I've watched a little bit of Stranger Things, but I'm not super into it. Avatar is the only one, really, that's really hit the spot for me, because I wouldn't say I'm, like, an Avatar super fan or anything, but I've definitely seen the show. Like, to be honest, I've watched the start of Avatar, like, a few times. I've watched it on my own, I've watched it with an ex-girlfriend, I've also watched it with my mates in my uni flat. So I've watched the start of Avatar quite a bit, and I do enjoy Avatar a lot. I need to finish it at some point, to be completely honest. But other than that one, like Ruby, Slipknot, Nickelodeon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, none of them have really hit the spot for me. I think there could be a lot more potential within it. Especially with gaming crossovers, actually. I think they should really look more into getting into crossovers with games. So far, I'm pretty sure they've only done TV shows, animes, and then also music with Slipknot. So music is an interesting one. They hadn't done music before, and now they have done with the Slipknot thing. So that could be really cool with some potential bands and artists and things like that. But for me, as I said, the big one I think is crossovers with other games. I think that could be really cool. But yeah, let's just jump into reviewing some of these ideas. So first up, Puzzled Improvement. I just want a Bowser-Kuzan, but yeah, this one has to happen, right? I was just talking about gaming crossovers. Mario, it would be great. It's probably not going to happen, sadly, because it's Nintendo and they're very protective with their IP. You know, Nintendo characters are only in other Nintendo games like Smash and stuff like that. Probably unlikely that SMITE could ever license Nintendo characters, but it would be very cool if you could. You know, Princess Peach on Yu Huang is one I've always thought of because of the way he floats down is very similar to how Peach floats down with the umbrella in a lot of games. Peach and Daisy, that is, you could do both. A bit of Zelda here, Link, Bologna, Zelda, Morrigan, and Ganon Fafnir. Yeah, again, like, a Zelda one would be great, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. It would be sick. I really wish they would be able to do it, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. Gilgamesh Mario? Yeah, definitely. When he jumps in, he's like, yeah, that'd be sick. I just want King Boomy Cabrakan, that would be pretty sick. They both have that kind of, like, slightly insane vibe going for them. And obviously, of course, both being, like, Earth-based. Definitely, like, the Tremor would be pretty sick, I feel like, with that, like, being, like, an Earth-bending kind of thing. Smite X Teen Titans, not something I've seen, but I know a bit of it, like, through the ether, essentially, and Starfire Soul would be pretty sick. I'm pretty sure that would fit just, like, straight up. Like, that should definitely be a thing. Raven Nox, I guess, would make sense, you know, given Raven, Nox. Would also work well on Odin, I suppose, as like a gender-bent thing, but Nox is the most obvious one. Cyborg Geb, I mean, he's already got a Transformer skin, right? Oh, also, yeah, Transformers. That was also a battle pass, right? Or was that just an event? I'm not sure, but yeah, that counts as like a crossover, I suppose. So there's also Transformers. Mortal Kombat, yeah, they should definitely do some kind of fighting game. Like, either Mortal Kombat or Tekken would be my personal favorite, because I play Tekken. Street Fighter would also be pretty cool. They should absolutely add some, like, actual fighting game characters in. I feel like they'd fit really well. Yeah, Raiden Zeus with all the electric stuff going on. I'm not sure who this guy is, but I imagine he, like, eats people or something like that if he's suggesting he be Bakasura. Melina Daji, Smoke Loki makes sense. Ermac Apwash. Who's Ermac again? Unfortunately, not too much of a Mortal Kombat player, so I'm going to have to look some of these up. Oh, it's that guy! That's actually who I played. I've tried Mortal Kombat for like a couple of hours. That's actually who I played, Ermac. So yeah, that would be pretty cool for sure. Yeah, Scorpion is one they have to do as well. Mulan would be pretty cool, I suppose, with like the 3 like jump into people as Scorpion does. But yeah, Scorpion is very iconic. Sub-Zero as well, another pretty iconic one. They would definitely have to add in one of these kind of battle passes. But like, this is the kind of stuff you could explore with gaming battle passes, and I'm really not sure why they've not done it yet. It could just be a licensing thing. They're like, they can't really. Like, games companies are less willing to license their things to put into another game, because then, like, you can play Smite and play that character instead of, like, playing them in the actual game, whereas it's a little bit different with TV shows and music, because, like, you're not playing characters in a TV show, obviously, you're just watching them, and so it really kind of gives a new dimension to them, whereas with gaming, I suppose, they're just kind of, like, recreating the character, and maybe it's harder to get licensing that way, or they feel like they don't want to do it that way, but they really should, in my opinion. Smite Egg Shrek, absolutely, dude, absolutely. Shrek Hercules, I would buy that skin in a heartbeat, no question. This is a pretty cool idea as well, Princess Fiona and Ogre Fiona for like the Cucullin skin. Cucullin has like so many interesting skin ideas that you can do because the elf like kind of transforms into a beast. Not saying Ogre Fiona is a beast, of course she is beautiful, we're not ogreist here, but yeah, that's the general idea. Smite devs look closely at this thread, yeah, definitely. Definitely, especially a lot of the gaming related ones, you know? Wink wink. Pretty simple, but Smite x Hades, most of the gods in the game are similar enough and already exist in Smite. The only exception is Demeter, which should exist in Smite anyway, in my opinion. But yeah, I was thinking about this with God of War as well. Like, they could potentially do a God of War crossover. I released a concept for Kratos recently, so shameless plug, that will be down below. Like an actual ability god concept for him. But they could also do it as a skin. Like, someone suggested in the comments of my video on that it will be a really good Bellona skin because she kind of like swaps weapons. And Kratos in God of War 2018 has the Leviathan Axe, the Blades of Chaos, and the Guardian Shield, and like Bellona could use obviously Guardian Shield on her one. The Scourge could be the Blades of Chaos because that fits really well, and then the hammer could just be replaced with the Frost Axe, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I suppose you could like cleave with it and stuff, kind of like he does in game. But then you could also do like Atreus as a hunter of some kind, maybe Cupid or something because he's a child and it will probably fit the hitbox better. And then you could even add the other gods as like their kind of God of War inspired designs as like skins, so you could have Freya from God of War, but like as a skin for actual Freya. You could even add Baldur, like you could maybe release Baldur alongside a God of War Battle Pass and then have like Baldur the Smite design, but then also a God of War skin for Baldur or something like that. Like there really is so much potential with crossovers games wise. I feel like it's a lot, very unexplored. Realistically, since Paramount has worked with Smite in the past and owns South Park, I think South Park would be an unbelievably fun one. Yeah, I completely agree with this. You could either do Stick of Truth and Friends, or just regular South Park characters. Cartman would be amazing as Cthulhu, but on his shoulder. Yeah, that would be sick, actually, 100%. It's like a more South Park-inspired Cthulhu design, and then Cartman just sits on top of his shoulder, like, shouting taunts or something at people. Like, it's a little bit 18 plus, shall we say, to add South Park, but like, Smite's already rated like a 15, I believe, or something like that, and they could temper the like aspects of South Park a little bit with the skins that they release. Stan and Kyle are both pretty versatile. You could use their and Friends or Stick of Truth personas. Kenny has to be Aphrodite as Princess Kenny from the console wars, definitely. That would be absolutely sick. That's a gender bend skin I can absolutely get behind. And then Drunken Randy as Bacchus or Hercules, definitely as Bacchus, right? That would be, I would buy that skin. I might even use that skin over Iroh Bacchus, which is very high praise from me. And Butters easily as Professor Chaos. Zeus fits in, yeah, Zeus fits in really well with like the throwing shield and stuff like that. But yeah, basically what this guy says, I didn't know how much I wanted this till I read it. Yeah, I did not think of South Park, to be honest, when I was like thinking of my own kind of concepts for this stuff, but definitely. I would like a Naruto crossover, and yeah, another South Parker suggestion here, absolutely. Naruto, not something I've seen, but I'm sure a lot of the weebs out there that play Smite that bought the Ruby Battle Pass would also buy that one, so, you know, high res get on that. X-Men, yeah, on this topic, not necessarily X-Men, it's not something I've watched or know much about, so I can't really comment on it, but superhero-themed skins of some kind basically has to be done, right? Like, personally, I would go with, like, maybe something like The Boys, or potentially Umbrella Academy, something like that, that's, like, not quite necessarily like DC or Marvel or anything like that. But that's just my personal taste. They could absolutely do DC and Marvel characters if they could somehow get the licensing for that and not pay $5 billion for it. But I would be down for like The Boys style superheroes. You know, we could have Ra as Homelander or something with the laser eyes. Queen Maeve would be a good Terror, I feel like. In fact, now that I've said it, maybe a gender-bent Ra for Starlight would actually work better because she's like very based on like the light powers and stuff like that, and Ra's 2 as Starlight makes a lot of sense. And then in terms of Umbrella Academy, you could have like 5 as Kronos with the rewind time style stuff, jumping through time. Luther would work really well as a Cucullin skin again, because you could have him in like his normal form before he goes full gorilla mode, and then when he goes into rage mode, he goes full gorilla, something like that. But yeah, I think superheroes definitely a very unexplored theme that they could do for a battle pass with just like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 skins from like a certain superhero theme. Like the kind of powers that are built into superheroes will just fit really well in a Smite skin, I feel like. Game of Thrones, yeah, one I'd be totally down for if they could possibly get the licensing for it. I mean, Game of Thrones licensed themselves out for that terrible mobile game that is basically a cash grab, and also for most recently, what's it called? Multiverses. Arya is in that as well, so like maybe they'd be down for the licensing for Smite as well. I think Multiverses is probably a larger franchise than Smite, but still, they might be down for it. Yeah, Scardia's one of the Starks obviously makes a lot of sense. Robb Stark being the most obvious one, because he's like most prolifically like goes around with his wolf, except for maybe Arya, but hers gets abandoned, so maybe not. This one's also sick. Hera as Cersei and Argus is the Mountain. That's actually really sick. I need this now, actually. Like, these are all like, yeah, sure, I could take them or leave them, but like this has to be a thing now. I really want this. Because that's literally what she does. She just kind of stands at the back of things, doing her little scheming, and then just throws the mountain at any, like, physical problem that she comes across. Full Metal Alchemist, again, an anime I've not seen, but I've heard good things about it, so I would absolutely be down for a crossover from that. SpongeBob, just another very obvious one. They've done a lot of cartoon ones already. I honestly, this is probably one I could see actually happening at some point, like, definitely. Yeah, World of Warcraft / just Warcraft lore in general. Again, one they probably would never get the licensing for. I don't really see Blizzard licensing out their characters to Smite. But especially considering they have their own MOBA, Heroes of the Storm, that they're kind of shutting down, or may have even shut down at this point. I don't follow it, but I've heard they were mismanaging it terribly and shutting it down, so maybe. But considering, like, a lot of these characters are probably already in Blizzard's MOBA, I highly doubt they would license it for a skin for Smite, but it would be cool if it ever happened. Illidan Tsukuyomi, yeah, that'd be absolutely sick, 100%. Lich King Arthur, yeah, definitely. You could even have maybe like either Tia or one of the other kind of stand switches, maybe Cuchulainn, where like he's Arthas in the regular form, and then when you stand switch, he goes into like the full-on Lich King. That'd be pretty sick. I know Lich King's like multiple characters or something, right? I don't really follow Warcraft lore too much, but I know he was originally Arthas and then became the Lich King, but now the Lich King is someone else, something like that. Warcraft lore nerds can correct me down below. Magic the Gathering, again, another pretty sick game one that they could do. Again, I don't know enough about Magic the Gathering to suggest any kind of specific characters or anything like that, but maybe you could do some of the Planeswalkers as, like, skins, stuff like that. Also, yeah, it opens up the channels for a D&D collaboration down the line. That's definitely something they could do. On the topic as well, Divinity Original Sin 2, a game I absolutely love, and they could do the origin characters as skins. Like, they don't really necessarily have specific abilities aside from, like, their origin skills, but maybe like Cleaner as Losa, that would be a pretty sick one for anyone that's played Divinity. Fane Kronos would also make sense with like the time style thing. So yeah, you could probably do the origin characters from Divinity as skins, and that would be a pretty sick battle pass. I would instantly buy that, obviously, but I think even people who haven't played Divinity, like, the origin characters are just super cool and well designed from that game, so I feel like that will be a really cool battle pass, just even if you don't play the game and you don't get the references. Fate series, Ishtar, I'm guessing this Fate thing has, like, gods in it, and that would be, yeah, again, as I said, I think the idea of, like, skins for the gods that are, like, different alternative takes on the gods from, like, different games or media is actually a pretty good idea. Like, yeah, they don't actually change the god into, like, a new character, but, like, an alternate take on the god, I think, is a really good idea, because, like, all these gods exist in mythology, of course, and so having, like, being able to see different takes on it, I think would be really cool. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, another great one that they could do, 100%. Maybe, like, Argus could be Exodia from Hera or something like that, or maybe Cthulhu, and when he ults, he becomes, like, full-on Exodia. Exodia would probably have to be a tier 5, though, right? Like, maybe you kind of, like, get all the pieces together as you go throughout the game, and then you become full-on Exodia after either doing something in-game or after a certain amount of time or something like that. And yeah, Winged Dragon of Ra, basically just Ra, right? Now, someone down here suggesting The Boys, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I think this one will be pretty sick. A lot of the soups from The Boys would just make a lot of sense as, like, skins for some characters in Smite. You know, A-Train Mercury, I didn't mention that one before, but that one's an obvious one, you know, you just run through people, don't you? Power Rangers, yeah, with Transformers, I can totally see Power Rangers, like, actually being realistic to happen as well, which is pretty sick. Dragon Ball, yeah, another one that, like, again, I've absorbed some Dragon Ball through, like, the ether, just being on the internet and, like, experiencing Super Saiyan memes. I haven't seen it myself, but I think it will be still a pretty cool one to see in Smite. Yeah, Bakasura as Kirby just makes a lot of sense. Bacchus as King Dedede, you know, absolutely. As someone who's played against him in Smash, that belly flop that he does definitely feels like a Bacchus belly flop hitting you, so I think that would be pretty cool. Meta Knight Baba Yaga also would be pretty sick, although I do agree with this guy down here that Susanoo would probably be a better fit for it. But on the topic of Baba Yaga, I had a cool idea for Breaking Bad. Like, since they've kind of set the precedent that, like, Stranger Things is, like, a fairly adult show that's, like, actually real and not a cartoon, they've kind of set the precedent for that now. They could do Breaking Bad. I mean, it's a bit of a dark show for them to do for Smite, I feel like, but Stranger Things is also pretty dark, so... And basically, Baba Yaga Walter White. That's my proposal here. The 1 could be him throwing the meth at Tuco. The 2 could be him throwing a pizza. You know, like he throws the pizza on the roof. Just generally, like, I think it'd be pretty sick. Again, one that probably wouldn't happen, but considering they got Stranger Things, maybe they would be able to get something like Breaking Bad. I'm not sure. Star Wars, yeah, it would be cool, but again, as this guy says, it's going to be very tough to get that. I highly doubt Disney are going to license out Star Wars to Smite, to be honest. It'll never happen, but Lord of the Rings is perfect. Yeah, I mean, Gimli Fafnir, right? It just has to be. Aragorn would basically fit as almost any of the male hunters, to be honest. Golem Bakasura, maybe? That would kind of work. Not really, but sort of in terms of the way he walks. Pokemon, I'm surprised no one like actually suggested this with more than 4 points of upvotes, but yeah, Pokemon would be sick. Again, it's a Nintendo franchise. I highly doubt we're actually going to be able to get Pokemon, but like absolutely they should do Pokemon if they ever got a chance at it. I think that would be like one of the sickest battle passes of all time. And yeah, Kukulkan Rayquaza, basically already in the game, right? They have that Cuckoo skin for him that's basically Rayquaza without being close enough to Rayquaza that they might get sued by Nintendo. Ooh, Tiamat Lugia. I like that idea. They're both very, like, majestic kind of creatures. I feel like that would fit really well. Marvel or DC, yeah, as I mentioned before, superheroes would just be absolutely sick to add, I feel like. Witcher as well would be pretty sick. I mean, we already have that Fenrir skin that's kind of like the Griffin from, like, the early game of Witcher, so already got a little bit of a foot in the door there. Finally, a suggestion for God of War. Completely agree. Okay, never mind. I've been absolutely bested on my Homelander suggestion. It would be a lot better for Anubis thinking about it, and then you could do Starlight, Ra, Homelander, Anubis. A-Train, Mercury. Huey could probably be someone related to teleporting of some kind, you know, maybe Merlin, but probably not, because that's a bit too, like, magical for Huey's powers in The Boys, without spoiling anything too much. Yo, this guy knows. Also, this guy knows. Breaking Bad. Yo, he also got Walter as Baba Yaga. Oh, that's fucking sick. We had the same idea, dude, Mr. Bombingasser. Maybe I shouldn't have the same ideas as a guy called Bombingasser, but yeah, Walter White, Baba Yaga, 100%. Ah, the elusive comment has more than the original post. Baron Quagmire just saying giggity giggity repeatedly as he ults them into his apartment for Baron ult. Absolutely, that would be sick. Also, this guy's name I'm not sure if it's actually a reference to Westworld or not, but Wyatt. Westworld would be pretty sick as well, in my opinion. Just had that idea pop into my head. You could have, like, host versions of a bunch of different characters for skins as well. I can't understand why they do crossovers with random-ass groups like Slipknot or Stranger Things. In my opinion, they should focus on crossovers with other games or anime. Yeah, 100% agree. Mostly games for me, because I'm not a huge anime watcher, but I know there are a lot of anime watchers that play Smite, so it just makes a lot of sense to do that kind of stuff. Doing that will get way more new players than doing a crossover with Stranger Things or Slipknot. I mean, Stranger Things is pretty popular. Slipknot also a fairly popular band, but I feel like it's a little bit less relevant with a Smite player base than, as I said, anime or other games would be. Because other games, just obviously, if you play Smite, you probably play other games as well, and there's a good chance you'll play games they cross over with, and tons of weeaboos play Smite. That's obvious, so yeah. But yeah, that's all I'm going to review for now. There's tons more comments on this post. As I said, it has over like 600 comments, so if you want to check out some potentially even more ideas than I've covered in this video, go check out the Reddit post, or the original post on Reddit here. Very good idea for a post, and tons of interesting comments on here as well. Yeah, Bowser and Kuzenbo, let's make it happen. But yeah, I do enjoy doing these kind of discussion videos on Reddit posts sometimes. I know it's a bit lazy content, I suppose, but I enjoy like providing my opinion on these things and reviewing other opinions and calling them bad, because obviously my opinion is the right opinion. But if you ever see any other Reddit posts that you'd like me to cover, you can drop them in my Discord, which the link for that will be down below if you're not in it already, or you can drop a comment on this video and I will check them out. But with all that said, I will catch you guys in another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.